Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. The weather is fantastic. Maybe you should let me know where you are watching the video from. Raila Odinga caused a huge political storm in this country after mentioning Mitumba business during the official launch of his manifesto. According to Raila Odinga, Mitumba business is the main cause of the collapse of textile industry. And therefore, in his speech, he suggested that they will ban Mitumba business so as to create employment through the textile industry. But he made a specific statement there that Mitumba business is actually won by dead people. You and me know so well that there is no honor in putting up or putting Mitumba innerwears. In this country, you go to Gikomba, you find people selling innerwears, people selling bras, tops. I like Mitumba shoes, by the way, because there are some brands you can not afford, but you can always get them. So the truth is, there's no honor if these things could be made available. In Limuru, we used to have Bata producing shoes there. I'm told they no longer do that. So Raila Odinga made that watu wamekofa. And that statement caused a huge storm in this country. And Moses Kuria today was in Gikomba shopping for panties which he won't put, shopping for bras which the wife can't put, doing all those kind of shopping just to reap from that Raila Odinga statement. I want to play to you, or I want to play for you, that statement by Raila Odinga, because I've listened to it severally. And I've also listened to the same statements by William Ruto either before or even in his response. And these guys are saying the same. But why is Raila Odinga's statement causing political storm? Listening to Raila Odinga very briefly.
Textile manufacturing. And here there's going to be backward and forward integration. We will introduce cotton growing in large numbers in our country. So many other parts of our country which cotton is the only available cash crop. Our textile industry was killed through liberalization. When then they brought Mitumba, it killed all our textile industries. Our people are only wearing clothes coming from outside the country. They have been worn by people who are dead. We are going to go to primary production so that our people who are importing Mitumba can have good product to sell here. I'm saying that we are not moving anybody out of business. We will ensure that those who are importing Mitumba get the first hand to market goods which are going to be manufactured here in this country. We will get the cotton, we'll gin it here, we'll spin it here, and we will make finished product here. And this will create again a very big source of employment for our youth in the country. We will also promote farming of other products like Bixa, products like cocoa. Cocoa can grow here. Coconut is growing on the Sese Island in Uganda.
Ndio mambo ya manufacturing. Ile mambo yote tunaagiza, mambo ya viti tunaagisha, nguo tunaagiza, viatu tunaagiza, tutasimamisha ndio hiyo nguo na viatu na all wood products iwe manufactured katika taifa letu la Kenya, na vijana wa taifa letu la Kenya katika ile mpango ya kuzalisha mali, tuweze kuondoa umaskini na tuajiri vijana wetu wote. Bidhaa yote tunaagiza kutoka nje, manguo, viatu, mambo mengine yote ya kutumia woodwork, hiyo mambo yote tutakomesha. Mambo ya leather, mambo ya clothing industry, textile industry, yote tutafanyia hapa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Saa hizi tunaagiza viatu milioni 12 kila mwaka, na ili hali tunachinja ng'ombe milioni 3 na ngozi yake tunatupa. Tutaanza sasa katika taifa letu la Kenya kutumia ile ngozi ya ng'ombe yetu milioni 3 kutengeneza ile viatu ya Kenya. Tuache kuagiza kutoka China ama sehemu zingine. Vijana wa taifa letu la Kenya wafugaji.
No, that's Raila Odinga. And if you listen to that statement by Raila Odinga, for me, it's a good statement. You know, in this country, we are importing everything, beginning with even toothpick. We import everything, including chalk. If you go to Webuye, pan paper, it collapsed there. But we are importing books, we are importing papers. You go to Mumias, Sony, and the rest. Those factories have collapsed because we are importing sugar. So the truth of the matter is that because of importation, our industries cannot do well. But it can also be traced to some structural adjustment programs which were introduced to the country by IMF. But let's not go there. Why do you think Raila Odinga's statement is causing a huge political statement? I mean, like a huge political storm in this country. So in this video today, I want to try and explain why I think Raila Odinga's statement is causing political storm in this country. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. So please, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You can also support this channel just by clicking that thumbs up button now, sharing the video. Now let us get back to business. And I want to put this on record. Personally, my wife is in Mitumba business. She's doing so well with it. She was doing it initially as part-time because she was employed. But then I think she's making good money there. So she's nowadays doing it full-time. Although I know recently she told me that it's becoming difficult to get supplies. So she's trying to venture into new clothes for women. And I think she's getting some from Uganda, some from, at that time she was in Mombasa getting them in Nairobi, but now new clothes, mixing them. So if you are a lady here, you can go to Biashara Market, you'll find her selling those clothes there. So Mitumba business in this country employs 2 million people with a gross domestic GDP of 18 billion. According to Raila Odinga's projection, if Mitumba business were to be stopped, then the local textile industry will thrive. And that will create, instead of 2 million people, it will create employment of 8.7 million people with a GDP of 78 billion. So I've listened to that statement by Raila Odinga. You've also listened to it. You've also listened to the statement by the Deputy President. They are all in agreement that Mitumba business should actually be banned. But why is Raila Odinga's statement causing a storm? Why? That's the biggest question. In my view, Raila Odinga's statement is causing a storm because it's coming at a time when we are headed for election. And in this election, you are just waiting for any small goof by the opponent. If you listen to that Raila Odinga statement, it was a very good statement. But there's a statement he made there which most Kenyans don't want to listen to. Because 2 million people selling Mitumba, there's a chance that if you round up 10 Kenyans, there's a chance that almost 8 of them will be putting on Mitumba. And you are telling them that the Mitumba they are putting on were actually being worn by dead people. So the question is, where is the source of this Mitumba? Where do they get these clothes? Where do they get this Mitumba business? I mean, these Mitumba clothes. That's the question. Is it for people who have died, who are dead? Because that's a possibility. If you are dead, the family don't see the need, so they take them somewhere. Or is it possible that in those developed countries, people put on clothes once, twice, then they sell? Personally, I love Mitumba shoes. Why? Because the qualities are good. There's a chance that you'll get that Italian designer, which you can't easily afford, but still very new, and you put it on and you are okay. It's always recommended that if you want to be smart, just go to Gikomba, go to Kibuye, get that 100 bob shirt, get a trouser of 200, clad comfortably with people. So why is Raila Odinga's statement creating a storm? Number one, why it's creating a storm is because of William Ruto's communication strategy. If you've been following William Ruto and his team, most of their agendas for the week are normally as a result of what Raila Odinga is doing or saying. And yesterday they tried to twist that statement by Raila Odinga and they succeeded. I think Raila Odinga doesn't have a clear strategy team to manage William Ruto and his propaganda, because they let Mitumba run away with that and their team. And just like you remember when Raila was with attended the Moi Kibaki funeral, the way they did that grandson's greeting of Raila Odinga, that's exactly what they are doing. So Raila Odinga's communication strategy is poor. They should know that William Ruto's team and agenda are normally informed by actions, moves, and strategies of Raila Odinga. Otherwise, if that was not the case, Raila Odinga's statement was okay. William Ruto has stated that severally. The truth of the matter is that in 2018, East African presidents agreed to ban Mitumba business because they felt that that's actually what killed the textile industry in this continent, in East Africa. But because of pressure from the United States of America, only Rwanda went ahead and implemented that ban. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania feared sanctions. So Rwanda went ahead. And after going ahead, today in Rwanda, textile industry is the biggest employer. Again, in Ethiopia, textile industry is the biggest employer. Where I come from, we used to grow cotton. When I was growing up, you'd see cotton, centers coming up for cotton where people would come, bring cotton, you sell, they're no longer there. So the truth is, Raila Odinga campaign team should realize that William Ruto is ahead of them when it comes to communication. They know how to use Raila Odinga's statement to set agenda. Number two is delivery of message. If you listen to Raila Odinga's that statement, it was so good. Even the fact that he mentioned being worn by dead people. Nothing wrong there, because that's the truth. Huh? But 2 million people selling that Mitumba clothes. In household, almost everybody is putting on Mitumba. The only people who don't put on Mitumba are politicians. I've never seen Ruto put on a Mitumba cloth. I've never seen Raila put on a Mitumba cloth. I've never seen Mudavadi put on Mitumba cloth. Uhuru Kenyatta is the only Kenyan who is putting on Kenyan-made shirts. The rest, I don't think so. So the truth of the matter is that the way Raila Odinga delivered that communication, he ought not to have included that element. If he had left off that element, his strategy to revive textile industry would have come out without any side show. That number. Number three, in my view, I think Raila Odinga, in his communication strategy, is yet to find a balance. You know, the truth of the matter is that in this country, we have so many people who are not employed. We have so many people who are seeking to feed their families. You go to Kibuye on a Sunday, then you find so many people selling Mitumba. Normally, at some point, I also sold Mitumba, by the way. You find so many people selling Mitumba. So there are those who come with bales. Yeah. Then, once they come with bail, then you go and buy the bale from her or him. Once you do that, then you bail, you open it. You see, those are different layers. There's a guy coming with the bale. So basically, there's a guy who imported those bales. And there's a guy who bought it from those importers of the bales. Now, there's someone who went to Nairobi and purchased bales, let's say 10 or 20 bales. He came with them to Kisumu. You know, those are chains. Once in Kisumu, then you now go and get that bale as the first person. So you, what they call the first camera. So where unafungua hiyo bale, you choose. This can sell, okay, this good, this is bad. Oh. So the first camera, that's what my wife sells, by the way. Once they get the first camera, once they get the first camera, you go. So if you get 20 or 50 pieces or 100 pieces out of that, you go with it. Then use the second one. There are people also who will be choosing those second cameras. Once they are left there, then kuna those guys who will be making noise. Okay, Peter, oh, kumi mali, 20, 30. So that's how that business is. So Raila Odinga ought to have understood that majority of Kenyans are depending on that Mitumba business. And therefore, the solution they need is not hope of tomorrow. It's a solution for today. So that you don't talk as if you want to ban the Mitumba now, but bring the strategy. Tell them that we are reviving our industries. So once our industries are revived, then tomorrow you guys will start selling firsthand. That's our strategy. And lastly, I think Raila Odinga, in my view, doesn't really know how to deliver his message. And I was talking to someone, and he told me, based on Raila Odinga's rally in Nakuru, where people were demanding for Bahati, that Raila Odinga must get some people to speak in his rallies. If you listen to the launch of his manifesto, the Nyeri deputy governor spoke so well. So Raila needs some of those people who can easily deliver his information. And Kenyans will want to listen to them. There are people in his rallies who really don't deliver that information. So Raila Odinga and his team must figure out how they are going to revamp his communication strategy. If they're not going to do that, still these goofs will come here. And you know, it's just a few days to the election. You make a mistake, you're done. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.